Dun 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 da. Oh man, looks like we're still in condition black here. Hold on, let's go to red alert. I need like an alarm. Looks like I'm filming this from DOS boot or something. Today we're getting continuing work on the Shroud Runners. I'm going to work on the Camo Pattern today. Last time we were working on these, I was working on the cushions, the seats. Going to take a slight detour from that as I want to get these cowls done, and I have been a little reluctant to get back to work on these guys just because of other things. And, like yesterday I was working on my Nightwings. And you can see here I slapped the transfers on, and they've already been basically slapped the Walthers on there. So they're adhering very nicely. I did this just a little while ago. Now, you know what? I'm just going to show you guys really quick. For some of you that are not familiar with Walthers and like what it does, for anybody who's kind of like, a little reluctant to apply transfers to a surface because, well, sometimes it doesn't adhere into the model surface. So I'm just going to show you guys really quickly here. Let's go here. Let's go something like that. Yeah, that's close enough. Let me turn the exposure down a bit just because we're in real nice and close. And you can see how the transfer has fallen into the recesses. And that's what you want. You can see it's a little shiny around the decal, or the transfer, because I put down a gloss layer just like I had done previously. But yeah. And so they adhere right inside there. They have all their markings now. And yeah. You see how that tail of the serpent falls into a little crevice there. Because that's what the Walthers does. Is it basically melts the transfer so that it falls within the details of the surface. Let's come up a little bit there. Can we adjust this? Can we adjust this? No, too much. Too low. Perfect. Good enough, right there. We'll leave it at that. Enough farting around the cameras. Sophie, wow. Hey, everyone. Hey. So, yeah, I'm joined today by Barfing Sheep over in the Discord. What you working on today, Barfing?
Beast of Nurgle.
Sweet. The Beasts of Nurgle. I'm going to clear off this little area here. Now, I don't know if I've ever shown anybody how I clear off my palette. And my whole work surface here is basically my palette. Now, it's very handy when painting, but not so much when it comes to hobbying time and, like using cutters and stuff and, knocking into the table and stuff like that. So this is really not that kind of work surface. This is really just more for filming and for painting. But anyway, how I clean my work surface is pretty straightforward. I grab myself a little paper towel right here, pretty normal looking little paper towel. I grab some Windex, apparently with schmutz hanging from it. I just grab some Windex, a couple spritz. I usually take my paper towel and kind of block off just so that the spray doesn't go into other projects. Try to spray straight down at my work surface. And just a couple spritzes there, and I leave it for a few seconds. And yeah, and then we come in and we blade it off. The Windex just basically helps break up that surface. And then also some of the thinner colors, like these are the contrast paints, they'll just kind of like start to lift right off the surface as opposed to some of these other ones. I find though metallics, Scale 75, Turbo Dork, even Citadel, I find metallics can be a bit of a pain sometimes to scrape off the surface. For whatever reason, they just seem to grab hold of my palette, and yeah, so I know, big whoop, right? So I just use a blade. You can see here's my trusty rusty blade. It is well used. I got a little magnet on it just, you know, for securing it to my lamp. I have it attached to my lamp right here. It just sits on the metal frame. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's scale 75 there. And I can tell because it's kind of challenging to take off from the palette. Not like it's, like, you know, a huge deal or anything like that. Then I just wad up the little ball of schmutz. Wipe the blade off a bit. Pick up the schmutz. And there we go. Then if need be, I'll give the entire area wipe down. Usually whenever I'm doing like tutorials and stuff, I will wipe down the entire area just so it's all nice and neat and presentable and, you know, the usual stuff. Just another spritz of Windex, and then let's just wipe the area down. But yeah, that's, see how easy that was? That's how a Chris do. Can you hear that? That's some ASMR for your asses.
Yeah.
Not for your ass. I'm just saying, like, the proverbial ass.
Now, what would be ASMR for your ass, though? Like a nice heated pillow to sit on?
Alrighty. So, for the camo pattern, we're only going to do the hoods, the cowls. What is this called? The front part of the bike. Is it a cowl? Is it a hood? I don't know. I never learned to read. So anyway, we're going to do that. I'm pretty sure I used Mephiston Red for that. Right? I'm pretty sure. Kind of. So let's take Mephiston Red and we will add, oh, I don't know, Rhinox Hide, I guess. Where's my Mephiston Red? Mephiston Red. And yeah, we'll use Rhinox Hide just to darken it up a bit. Just a little bit. We don't need, oh, shit. We don't need much. Just a little bit. I'm going to throw these on the mixer and give them a good mixing. Sophie, does it affect any fresh paint or have to leave the surface for a short time before popping more paint on it? No, I mean, it's Windex, so it's clean now. I mean, you just saw me wipe it down, right? And, like, throw paint right on it and nothing. I mean, like, Windex, it dries really fast, right? Because the ammonia. So, at least good Windex. I mean, most glass cleaners will have a certain degree of ammonia in them. Most, anyway. I've even used Simple Green. I've used Simple Green to clean my work surface. But this is the way I've worked quite a few years now, where I've worked with a large glass surface. I think this is probably like my third glass surface that I've acquired for doing tutorials and videos and, you know, yeah. But yeah, all it is just a big piece of glass, and it's a piece of card, like Bristol board, behind it. That's it. So I can change this backdrop to whatever color I want. I could leave it white, although I don't usually do it white. Blue was just, you know, for aesthetics reason, and, you know, it looks kind of nice. And, you know, like a lot of the classic photos where you kind of have that slight gradient of blue. I was thinking, like, when initially I was, you know, filming these things, especially when you come in nice and close to the table surface, it gets very, very bright blue and then trails off into a darker blue, and it looks kind of nice on camera. I could deliberately get a backdrop that had that gradient in it, but depending on which way I was filming, you know, it would look odd. Like if I was filming from like kind of like this camera angle right now, you would see it go from a lighter color to a darker color over here, as opposed to the uniform color that it is right now. It's just some variance in it because of the way, you know, the light is hitting the surface and all that jazz. But you can have it black, you can have gray. Gray's another one I like, just because you know it's neutral. You know, you never know. I might do a gray. The other one I had an idea for was doing the little monkey logo, having that in behind here, subdued. You know, not as prominent, just more faded, kind of like how the monkey logo looks right now. How it's kind of it's faded. It's not quite as strong, and just so it doesn't take away from the video. And also another one I was thinking of was like more like an isometric view of the monkey logo, so it would look kind of distorted in this top-down view, but on camera it would look appropriate, right? But anyway, let's get to work. You got your Nurgles in your hand?
Yeah.
All right.
Try brushing some skin.
What if you were brushing dry skin?
I mean, we'll just have a look at my elbows.
Okay. Slap a little red down. I also changed out my paint water so it's nice and clear. No potentials for cross-contaminating our colors. Usually not a big issue though, but you never know. And usually with like metallics, you can kind of run into that issue. Contaminating, the little metal flakes and everything like that. So this mixture here of Mephiston Red and Rhinox Hide is probably closer to a 1-to-1. It's probably going to be a little too much, but yeah, you know what? It might be a little too dark. Why is that moving? What the fuck is going on? Why did that move? Did you see that?
What the fuck?
Did you see that move? Oh, because there was some Windex under it. That's why.
Yeah.
Everybody out there is like, holy fuck, it's paranormal.
Oh, Chris, it's ghosts. It's not Windex.
Some goddamn paranormal activity for your asses. I'm gonna have to clip that. Anybody paying attention to the clip function? I'm gonna have to you get that clip because that's funny.
Well, you know who to call.
I don't know. Who
are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. All right. Now, the fun part is, how do we want to arrange this pattern? So this first little batch of color here, I want it to be somewhat dark. But I just want to figure out how I want to arrange the diamonds, because I think I'm going to arrange the diamonds so that it works from this kind of viewing angle. So yeah, I think we should just start drawing. Let's just start drawing. Let's grab a little bit of water here in my brush. I didn't use any medium or anything like that. I'm just grabbing brush. The bristles are just a little bit swollen with water. So let's just grab a little bit of the color. I'm happy with the color. It looks really dark on camera, but it's not too dark to the eye. It's dark, but it's not that dark. The camera makes it look really dark. Let's start. You know what? Let's start right up by this gemstone right here. Let's just draw in a big diamond. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I was worried that this was going to be a little too much or like too dark, but no, this is a good value. It's dark, it's noticeable, but it's not, huge. Yeah, you can kind of see there. And we'll thicken that up a little bit, and then we'll carry on. What do you think? Like about let's use the rule of 3. Let's put 3 big, darker stones on, or diamonds, and then we'll aim to put 3 lighter ones, and that should give us our camo pattern. Now, when I say camo pattern, I'm talking like the new Aeldari kind of camo pattern, of which I'm a big fan of. You know, it's very rare that, you know, Games Workshop creates something, especially for box art and what have you, that, you know, inspires me to like emulate it. It's been a long time since Games Workshop's ever done that I was like, oh my god, I need to imitate that. That's so darn cool. Like I said, it's very, very rare. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's do another one. We'll do a big one right up here, and then maybe a big one right here, just like the edge of one. Yeah, so let's do another big one right here. Actually, maybe let's do a big bottom one. We'll do a bottom of a big one right here. Yeah, let's do that. You know what? Let's do it off center, so it looks random. So let's do it right here. Yeah, come right across this. Right across this detail. Come across like so. Come over this way. Like so. Yeah, and then we'll thicken up this line. Yeah. Something like that. Sophie, does the paint mix better and last longer on the glass palette, or does it really make much difference than a normal palette? Yeah, normal dry palette. Yeah, this is no different. This is just, you know, there's nothing special going on here. The only reason I use glass is really for filming purposes. That's it. That's the only reason.
It's a bit easier to clean.
And yes, a bit easier to clean. Yes, but otherwise, no. It's not like it's, you know. It's not like it's the trick of the masters kind of thing, or, you know, anything like that. It's really just for filming purposes. It's predominantly why I use it. And I have used it for the better part of a decade. It's not like something that, you know, everybody out there's got to go rush out and get or anything like that. Like, no. Nothing like that. Unless, of course, your goal is to create tutorials and such, then, yeah, go ahead. It'll probably help you, you know, rather than, you know, going through consumables and stuff like that. So basically what I'm doing as I thicken up these lines is I'm using the thickness of the brush to determine how thick I'm building these chevrons, essentially. And this chevron up here is about 2 brushfuls thick, if that makes sense. I'm also trying to keep the paint fairly thin so that as I go over surfaces, it doesn't get chunky or, you know, see too many brush strokes or anything like that. Grab another little dab of paint. Yeah. And let's do another diamond. Let's do it off this side here. So let's go. You know what? Let's use that angle right there. So let's go whoop real fast. Then we'll go whoop right across. Yeah, something like that. Let's make it nice and thick as well. And then we'll have to come back in. Yeah. Something like, well, way this line runs, so we want this line to come this way. And I messed it up just a little bit, but that's okay because we're working with fairly thick lines. And I just messed that one up a bit. It's because I'm talking and painting at the same time. Chris is not so good at the walking and chewing bubblegum thing. Just so you know. Yeah. Okay. This one little bit over here I want to correct. Actually, you know what? Let's do a small solid diamond as well. Just for gigglies. I just want to clear up this one little spot here. Yeah, it's a little too aggressive. Just like that. Something like that. Yeah, let's do a small diamond on that. Where shall we put a small diamond? I don't know. Sophie, Jedi Chris Strong, the Force is. There's a TikTok creator I follow, and he does Puppet Yoda videos. There's one where Puppet Yoda is sitting on the can, and he's just screaming because he's, you know, he can't shit, right? He's constipated. It sounds really gross describing it, but it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's the childish shit I follow on TikTok.
Out you must come.
Exactly. Okay, we're gonna do a small, solid one right here. Yeah, we'll just do a little solid one right here. Just like that. And you know, like this whole camo pattern business with these the camo pattern for the Eldar, man, you can go all sorts of directions with it. Like, you can make them more organic lines, you can make them really aggressive, you know, like there's all sorts of ways you can take this aesthetic, which is really, really cool as far as I'm concerned. Now, I said we were going to do the rule of 3 on this, but I'm kind of digging. No, I think we'll leave it. We'll stick with just, I went, instead of 3, I went 3.1, essentially. But that's it. That's as far as we'll go with that color. And so we're going to do that on the other bikes, and then we'll come in with another color. There we go. Yeah, so keep these little conveyor belt of, what is this? What is the front part of the bike called? Canopy? Hood? Oh, dropped it into the fucking paint. Nice. Did you say Bubba?
Cover.
Oh, cover. They said Bubba. I was going to say,
Bubba?
It's Bubba. God damn.
Motherfucker, that ain't a hood. That's a Bubba.
Damn, that sounded legit for a second.
Just for a second.
For a second, I thought, yeah, damn, what southern monkey's in the chat here?
Ignatius? That's who it is.
Don't make me laugh, man. Fuck. You're gonna fuck me up. I'm gonna use this gemstone again, but I'm gonna do this pattern this way. I'm using the gemstone as like kind of like a central point of like where a corner can be, just to kind of get, you know, the old beginnings of the pattern started. And oftentimes when you are freehanding this kind of stuff, getting started is the challenge, right? Is, you know, where do I begin with this pattern? How do I start it? Sometimes that can hang a person up. You know, where do I begin? And so it can be the corner of a panel, it can be a gemstone, it could be a, you know, whatever, right? Yeah. So now, like, reason why I don't want any diamonds falling in a central position is because we are going to put chevrons on the front, and so I don't want the design to become confusing around once we get to the chevrons, like the proper Samhan chevrons. Proper. Which is why I'm doing it this way. Let's go right here. Right here. Like that. Yeah. Probably went too far with this one, but that's okay, because we can always thicken this up. And I think my paint's already getting a little bit thin, or dried. Yeah, we're gonna have to thicken this up a bit. Just a bit. Like that. To change this angle a bit. Just try and camouflage our boo-boo. Almost. We're almost there with that one. Just going to clean up some of the edges a bit. But first, we need to mix up a new batch of color. Sophie, I'll have to look for that Yoda one. I often find the silliest things funny. Yeah. I don't know, Sophie, if you... Do you follow me on TikTok? But yeah, I do TikTok. I make videos. It's pretty much kind of a duplicate of what I post to YouTube and stuff like that. So I've also been, if you've noticed on my YouTube channel, I've been doing clips from like Way the Brush, and I also post those to TikTok as well. All right, let's grab another wad of color. So let's grab a little bit of Mephiston red. We'll slap it right here. I don't want to mix it into this pile because there's drying elements within this paint, and I don't want those crusties and chunks getting into this new mixture. Oh, excuse me. Now, last time I grabbed just about that much. Now maybe a little bit more. Yeah, somewhere around that I think I grabbed last time there. As long as you are consistent in how you gather your paint, you will get consistent results when you have to remix them. Ideally, if I was really smart, I'd have my wet palette with me to do this. Oh, see, I didn't grab enough brown, because I think you can see, yeah, you can see how it's visibly brighter red. So I gotta grab a little bit more brown. And I think I will add a drop of medium to it as well. So I'm just going to grab just a little bit more. A little bit more Rhinox. There we go. Yeah, that's closer now. Yeah, it's a little bit closer to a 1-to-1. I'll grab some medium. Just one drop. Just one drop. Just to thin it down. Just a little bit. Make it nice and creamy. Queamy.
Oh, God.
No.
No, if somebody were to clip something, that would be it.
Make it nice and queamy.
There's some things in life you just don't want to hear.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, shit. Go. Looks a little wonky, but I'll live with it. Next one, let's go. Let's go here. We'll come back. Come that way. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll start one right here. Go across. Yeah, we just completely butchered that line. Come across this way. Just like that. Come back. Oh, we're going to run off. That's all right. This one we can make extra thick because I screwed up this line right here, so we're going to make this one thick with 2 C's. I think I'm also messing it up because I'm trying to speed my way through it, which you shouldn't do. Shouldn't be in a rush, especially when you're trying to do fine little elements like this, and you know, trying to lovingly create a particular kind of look on a surface. Oh, I thinned this down too much.
You know when you come to that point where you should just stop fiddling with it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm tiptoeing that line.
Yep. I hear you. That's where I do most of my best work, really. So when you're tiptoeing that line between overdoing it and, you know, good enough, right?
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough. There we go. This chevron here is still fucked up, but oh well. I think once I start slapping other elements on, it'll hide my crimes. Now, let's do another little solid diamond. This time, let's slap it. Oh, I don't know. Let's slap it right here. Right here. There's the small one. And of course, my paint is a little too thin. Have to be mindful of that. Give that a second, let that dry. And if it needs another coat, we'll do another coat. Do 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 do. Where am I in these chats? In these chats. Sophie, I can't kettle brush steady enough for freehand. I'm always steady, but don't mess it up. And then, oh, I've messed it up. Yeah. Keep, not kettle. Oh, I can't keep brush steady? Okay. I was kind of wondering what you were talking about. Sophie, I've seen the YouTube ones, but I'll have a nosy for you on TikTok. Yeah, I mean, just look up Way the Brush and you'll find me. Google me. All right. Somehow there's dust on this model. Somehow. All right. Let's go. Ooh, let's go. I don't know. I don't want to do it off the front. We've already done that. So. I don't know. Let's do a thick one, I guess, right? Starting. Screw it, right here. Wait, did we already do there? No, not really. Let's go. Whoop-ah, like that. And whoop. Yeah, you know what? We'll use the excuse that the bike edge is the edge of that detail like that. Yeah, let's make those lines nice and thick. Make them thick. Yeah. There we go. Make it thick. If you're ever freehanding thick lines, you gotta say it like that. Thick.
Yuck.
Yeah. Because otherwise it just won't work. It just won't work if you don't do it like that.
Mandatory sound effects.
What?
Mandatory sound effects.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's do a small one. I don't know. Let's go right here. Bang. Just like that. That. Fill it in. Oh, screwed up that side. Oops. Oops. Yeah. There we go. We'll do a nice thick one over here. In fact, we'll do a really thick one, just to really mess things up. Let's go. Yeah, we'll start over here. We'll come right from this corner, come over, and then come down right there. But we'll make it real thick. Like so. And then, whoop-a, just like that. Yeah. But we're going to make it really thick. Super thick. Like, I can't believe it's that thick.
Can't believe it's not butter.
Exactly. Yeah, this one here is about 2 brushes thick.
Show how to do these tentacles. This massive, magnificent hairy ass.
Say what?
The Fissy Nurgle. He's got this fucking dreadlock tentacle thing.
Yeah.
Not really sure how to do it.
I pointed you at a video.
Yeah. But I'm thinking color-wise.
Oh. What color's the body?
Not sure yet. It's got to be green. Greenish.
Greenish? Okay, well, you can always go with magenta, purple. You could do flesh tones.
Yeah, I was actually thinking purpley flesh tones. Maybe.
Yeah, you can go purpley flesh. That would look cool.
Because his belly and like under slug side, that's going to be like flesh tones.
Yeah.
With a hint of purple. Like a bruised, like bruised flesh.
Right.
I could go like more purple on the dreads. I don't know. Speak to me. What do you want? He said flesh. Fine.
Yep, flesh, that's it.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta let the model tell you what they want.
Yeah, sometimes the model knows.
Ooh.
You just gotta trust the process, man. You just gotta trust the process.
I'm hesitant because I'm scared to go into the ugly face of art. But then again, fucking do it.
Just do it, yeah. Oh, fuck. Did I just fucking fuck that all up? if the brush hit it. Maybe not. Who's that? Oh, Scott. What's happening, Scott?
Nothing. Just had a little bit of time to kill. Putting together some dudes.
Cool. What you putting together?
My friend and I are going to dive into Conflict 47, the kind of weird war bolt action.
Yep. I'm familiar with it. M's familiar. That one could have got me a few years back. I was interested in it, and yeah, didn't though. Didn't get into it. Don't ask me why. Don't know. No good reasons that I can think of. Okay, so that's first chevron down. Should we go darker chevron or a little bit brighter than the base? Probably brighter than the base, right? So for that, we'll use Mephiston Red. Should we use Ushabti Bone?
Yes.
Okay, you convinced me. Sophie. You have to get yourself one of those little hoovers you can use on the keyboard to get the dust off the minis, so you have on your shelves, and then dust them off with a makeup brush. Yeah, I just use an old Citadel scenery brush. It's probably not the best option because it actually is kind of it's hog hair, so it's really kind of coarse and hard. But I don't know. So far, I mean, I haven't really hurt my models doing it. But yeah, makeup brush would probably be good, or even like a proper, duster or whatever. But yeah. Kim, hey there, back on the bikes today. Yeah, we're back on the bikes, doing the camo. You're about to say something?
Yeah, I got a makeup brush for all that stuff. It's super soft, yet very stiff.
Oh yeah?
I don't know where it came from. It just was, it was in my house. I was like, hey, this can be good for dusting.
Yeah, like for my dusting, I always use this kind of brush right here. And it's the old, or I don't know how old it is, but it's a Citadel scenery brush. So it's pretty big. You can see in my hand here how big this brush is. And I use this to dust off models. But like it's a fairly coarse haired brush, because it's for obviously scrubbing in paint and what have you on scenery and stuff, right? So, but yeah. Hog hair or horse hair, one of the two. So it's a thick, coarse hair. All right. Next little diamonds to work on. Yeah, I think we'll do Shopti Bone. So I'm gonna give Shopti Bone a mix. Yeah, Scott, with the conflict game, where they almost had me was the Nazi zombies and Nazi gorillas.
It's my friend and I, we just said we should just find a game and dive into it, whether we know if it's any good or not. And we had thought, like you probably a couple 3 years ago, I had bought him the rulebook for Christmas, myself one. I hadn't really touched it since, so we just said, fuck it.
Yeah, why not? Just dive in. And I mean, like, if it's you and your buddy, that's going to be playing it and all that, man, it doesn't matter if it's a popular game or not. Unless, of course, you play it and you guys both agree that it sucks or whatever. But I have never heard anybody say the game sucks.
No.
So.
we're both big boys, so if it stinks, we just say, oh well, that was a year of our lives.
Yeah, but what's a year of our lives?
Nothing. So
if this fucking pandemic has taught us anything, a year of our lives is nothing.
There was a Facebook thread, I think you might have been. I was very proud of myself because I just kept on scrolling. I didn't engage. But it was one of the, you see these every once in a while, guy, hey, I'm thinking about getting into commission painting. What should I charge? So you got a few people saying, like, well, it's tough to start in. You know, and a few other people saying, I would recommend not doing it. But then a dude says, no matter what you do, you have to make sure you're making at least $500 a day. And
a day.
Per day. And a guy said, hey, I think you made a typo, $500 a day. The guy doubles down and says, yeah, if you are a skilled craftsman, your work should be worth no less than $500 a day. The guy did the quick math and said, that's six figures, that's $100,000. I'm a carpenter and I've never come close to six figures, and nor will I. The guy said, no, you definitely, you got to aim to make six figures. I know because I saw it in a video by Adam Savage.
Well.
Huh? I don't know, man. A Mythbuster said so.
Yeah, a Mythbuster said so, yeah. But I mean, Adam Savage, has been in the business a long time. And yeah, I don't think he was making six figures when he was working for ILM.
I don't think he was making six figures when he was at Mythbusters.
Yeah.
That stuff comes typically not from doing only what you love.
True.
I was amused, but like I said, I was really impressed with myself for not engaging, because normally I can't do that. I can't just keep on scrolling.
Oh man, I don't even engage with Facebook shit. Maybe some miniature stuff, but otherwise, no. I just advertise my bullshit, and that's it. That's the only engagement I really do with Facebook.
I tend to step in if I see someone who I think is giving blatantly bad advice when it comes to miniature painting or something like that. You know, the person who says that the only brush you can buy is you have to buy the Games Workshop detail brush if you're going to paint detail. Otherwise,
yeah, no, I would disagree.
Yeah, buy what you like, but don't be thinking you can only buy the branded product.
Yeah, no, and that's an older mentality. It's antiquated and it's unnecessary, and all it does is hurt you creatively, thinking that a particular brand is, a brand of brush, brand of paint, brand of whatever, right?
That's another. You'll see someone say, "Hey, I'm getting into miniature painting. What miniature paint range should I buy every single paint from?" Like we got the Army Painter big boxes and stuff like that. And I do my best to say, don't commit to one paint range. Try a little bit from everyone. You're gonna have favorite colors amongst those ranges.
Yeah, exactly. Not every paint range is the same, right? Citadel has some really great colors. Some of them are not so great. Army Painter has good colors. Some of them are not so good. Scale 75, Vallejo, right? Like all these paint lines. Some of them do a particular color really well. Some of them, not so well. And when again, like I've talked about this many times, when people are talking about best paint ranges, nobody has done the definitive comparison between these water-based acrylics the way manufacturers test their paints. Nobody has set that test up like the way paint manufacturers do it. And so that's how I know that nobody really knows what they're talking about when they're saying, Citadel paint and Scale 75 paints. The Scale 75 paints are way better than the Citadel paints. Like, okay, based on what? How it feels? Like, that's bullshit. You know, you got to test the light fastness. You got to test its coverage over particular surfaces. You know, there's all sorts of ways that paint manufacturers test their paints, and nobody does those tests to compare, because I think what they'll find is that there's the differences between them are very negligible. And it's only once you get into the more nuanced types of painting that you see these differences. But, I mean, most people, especially brand new people, are not going to pick up on that nuance because they're not that experienced. It's just like brushes as well. You know, everybody goes, well, you got to get sable hair. You got to go Winsor Newton. You got to go Citadel. You got to go Artist Open. You know what I mean? Like, you just go through all these top tier premium brands. You need that brush. Well, if you're brand new to the hobby, that does not do you any good because you don't know how to take care of your tools, let alone what paints, let alone techniques that are really beneficial for these kinds of sable hair brushes. When you start out, you might as well go with synthetics.
My advice is once you find you can keep your paint in the lines, you should try a sable brush as quickly as possible and see if it has a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I always find myself in the argument where people will, you know, I buy my brushes exclusively at the dollar store, so I'm not paying overinflated prices for brushes. Well, in the context, especially if you're a Warhammer player, the amount you're going to be spending on your miniatures, I think it's a good investment to buy some tools, learn how to take care of them.
Right. Well, and some people when we're talking about wargaming miniature painting, some people just want to get their shit done. That's their goal, right? And some people want to get to a higher level, you know, display standard or competition type level of painting. Absolutely nothing wrong with either, but I think it's like when looking for advice, we should definitely categorize it as, well, what is your end goal? You know, are you looking to just get to a tabletop standard? Are you looking to paint like the box art of the, you know, whatever company you're buying miniatures from? Or are you looking to improve this to the point where you can start charging people or become a, you know, competition painter, or, you know, like, what are your end goals for your painting? Because, yeah, oftentimes people who are brand new to this, it's overwhelming, all the information, and your first little bit as an amateur, you know, is sifting, finding the answers that are most apt to your own personal journey that you want to go through. And some people start off just, you know, wanting to get their miniatures done, but then find that they have a real talent for it, or they really enjoy it, and they make that leap into display or competition type painting. And then some people, you know, right off the hop, no, I want to get into competition painting. I want to enter Golden Demons. I want to enter Crystal Brushes. I want to, you know, okay, well, that's, you know, it's great to have an objective and, you know, it provides focus, but, you know, there's... I
think that attitude's really irresponsible and like just a destructive mindset. Like you picked up a brush for the first time last week, and next week you want to enter the Crystal Brush. Like it's just not feasible. You don't understand what you don't understand yet.
True, but that's the personal journey. I mean,
I've had locally, I'm not extremely popular amongst the gaming crowd, because what will happen is someone will put up a post saying, okay, I'm painting this army and I want this army to be the absolute best. This is going to win best painted at every contest I go. You know, people will know and fear my name all across the prairies, and so on and so on and so forth. And they'll put a picture up. It's like, well, hey man, here's some tips. You might want to scrape those mold lines, drill those barrels out, and, you know, and then you know, we can talk painting, might want to paint, you know, that kind of stuff. And then the amount of times I've just had people, how come you're never telling me the stuff I did well? You're always dumping on people. Like, well, you didn't say, hey guys, here's some new stuff I painted. What do you think? You said this is going to be the greatest and best thing ever.
Yeah. These days, yeah, I don't really offer input unless, of course, people ask me for my input. Ash, he has a really good response for whenever somebody shows up with a paint job. He says, "Oh, it's a really nice sculpt."
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I get it. Sometimes it sounds a little bit dickish, but I get it. You know. Because sometimes, especially people who are brand new to this, and, you know, they don't handle the input very well. And that's
I think that's what goes. If someone asks for, hey, what do you guys think? That's then. If someone says, hey, what do you think? I'm gonna say, well, I think you should be proud. You know, you did this well, you did that well. If someone says, hey, look, man, I'm entering contests and I need the good stuff. Well, you've asked. You've asked for criticism. You need to take it. You need to, like, is that your goal, or were you just looking people? I mean, come on, everyone's got the internet. You can look at the top stuff out there and know that shit ain't yours.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all ego as well, right? It's ego. You know. And unfortunately, a lot of miniature painters have egos, because whatever, especially in this hobby, in this genre, for anybody who is a decent miniature painter, well, in their gaming groups, they get told how awesome they are all the time, and they get questioned all the time, and it starts to get to your head. And, well, yeah, I think I am pretty goddamn great. And then you start putting yourself out there, and then you start getting, you know, people who, through texting, because texting does not convey the nuance behind what you say. So your response to something can sound very cold, can sound very negative, you know what I mean? Depending on the person's mindset as they're reading it, it can sound very negative. And so then they fire back aggressively, and, you know, it just...
I've won awards, and my exact, when way back in around, I don't know, 06-ish, I had, do you remember the old Forge World Nurgle Great Unclean one?
Yep.
I had painted that up, and I was getting oohs and ahs from everyone, and a dude said, that's really good, you should put that on Cool Mini or Not. I didn't know what that was. I was like, all right, sure. So the thing about Cool Mini or Not, I put it on there, and I got just under an 8 out of 10, which at the time put it in line with some of the, maybe like a bronze demon winner. Like, that was a very nice score. But it's as Ash would say, incredible sculpt. So I started walking around like I was king shit of fuck mountain. You know, I'm clearly an excellent painter, and I've got paint jobs that are even better. So I put up another one, and it got a 5.6. Like a little. I mean, all those scores are subjective. Yeah, I get it, but it was a resounding, not as good as you thought, pal.
Yeah.
So I went to the forums, and I said, hey guys, new in town. Here's these two miniatures. Where am I? But I made sure double clear. You know, I got the initial feelers, like, hey, it's pretty good. Where are you at? I'm like, no, you go hard on me. Come at me hard in the paint. You lay into me. So I got some real good constructive criticism. Then I was off to the races. You know, then started painting real. It went from, you know, I could paint a unit in a weekend to, you know, 3-4 hours a miniature up to, you know, kept on going on. But it happened entirely because I would ask for criticism and then take it on board. And then you could follow up, and these people were all fantastic. I don't think I had a single bad interaction. They were all, you know, hey, well done. I like what you did here. You did take this on, you know, and then what's the next step? What's the next step? But it only happens if you invite and then accept the criticism.
Well, you also got to be a big boy about it too, right?
Well, then, yeah,
some people aren't big boy enough.
I had a dude named Sven. I put a figure up on eBay, and I didn't. His screen name was something different, so he bought it. I had no idea it was him. Shipped it off to him, and then later on he said, "Hey, just want you to know I won your figure on eBay." I was like, "Oh, cool. Hope you like it." He said, "Well, I bought it on purpose. Do you mind if I give you some? I wanted to see what your stuff looked like in the hand because he thought my pictures were ass." And he had a three-page, like, photoshopped with examples about what I was doing well, where I could improve. Not only did he not charge me for it, he bought my miniature to do that for me.
It's kind of weird. But yeah, okay.
There was just a group of people that kind of took me under their wing. They liked it because I would, too often people who had a lot to say, you ask them how many times this happened to you? Hey, Chris, what do you think about my painting? What should I do? You tell them, they give you the, and then they go back to doing what they were doing in the first place. And they loved it. They were all about it. I got so many good experiences through there.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. To buy your thing and then critique it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he was an admin on the forums. He was happy about the about having someone who would take instruction.
What up? Just give me the recap. I can't read that.
He's free.
Okay.
He's not being charged.
Cool. So what does that mean?
It means that the trade talks are ramping up already. All the teams that were interested, well, they're interested now.
Who's that? What player?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
No charges?
Nope, he's free.
That's gotta be who gets him? Who goes for him?
That's the question.
That's the question.
I just saw some teams said they were all in, pending the charges. I can't even remember.
It said he felt he knew that the truth would come out, and today a grand jury did not charge him on any of the criminal complaints.
So he'll have to get cleared of the civil charges, but I mean, if there's no criminal charges, that should be pretty easy.
Yeah. So.
Well, I don't know. Good for him, I guess, but sounded like an awful lot of smoke.
Oh, for sure. Oh, man.
I think Khalil Mack to the Chargers. If he's healthy, that's a pretty scary team now.
Yeah, that is. Which monkey is this one?
That's Scott. I got Scott and Barfing Sheep, and Scott's over in Saskatchewan, and Barfing Sheep's over in Norway.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, man. But yeah,
I'm a Browns fan, so.
What's that?
I'm a Browns fan.
Do they know what team you like to root for?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think you guys are in for a tougher time than I am.
If we get Deshaun Watson.
There's no way Tomlin will let that guy on his practice field ever.
Someone's got to continue my Big Ben legacy.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph.
Oh, fuck. Come on, Scott.
He's the only guy in the league to have someone try to kill him with his own helmet, so he's got that going.
True. Very true.
But yeah, I just wanted to come down here and let you know, yeah, Deshaun Watson, he got all three of the complaints for the grand jury today.
Huh.
Because that was the big news. If teams were going to really be serious about getting him, it all depended on today's news.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Steelers would be afraid of taking Deshaun.
Oh, I don't think so.
They took Ben, they took Brian Flores, and don't forget, they also took Michael Vick.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's very possible.
It is very possible.
Good luck to your Browns next season.
Thanks.
He's not serious about that.
I'm a Baker believer.
Yeah, Alex can talk shit all day about football. All day. He loves it. He loves him the foosball. He also does a pretty good Waterboy impression.
That has some quality H2O.
Yeah, exactly. When the dickhead starts doing that kind of shit, I can't take him seriously. Sophie, as an expert painter, Chris, you might disagree with this, but I've been painting miniatures and minis since I was 7 and 11 years. When I was 7 and 11 years later, I'm only at tabletop level of skill and seriously doubt I'll get much better to display or competition level. Well, if that's your goal, Sophie, to become, competition level, I mean, it's many hours upon hours of practice, right? It's like if you wanted to be a football star. Well, nobody comes out of the womb being immediately great at it. I mean, yeah, you have natural talents and stuff like that, but it's practice and practice and practice and practice, right? It's practice, practice, practice. So if that's your goal, then keep practicing. Nothing wrong with having a goal, even within this hobby. Some people do this just to relax. Some people do this because, they have a particular goal in mind, right? It's completely individual. It's not, it's not getting into this miniature hobby that the goal is to be the best, because that's entirely subjective. And what is the best? Like, you can't define it, because again, it's entirely subjective. And it's not like being an Olympic long jumper. Well, there's a metric there for being the best, right? Being a miniature painter, there is no metric for being the best. Like, what is the metric? Scott, what's the metric?
I have an answer.
Okay, go.
I just think that the better you get, you should be happy with your painting if the painting of your miniatures matches a picture you had in your head. And the better you get with your brush, the better pictures you can have in your head, which you can emulate.
Sure, but what is the metric for being the best?
There is. It doesn't.
Best.
I'm sorry, you guys kind of walked on each other. What was that, barfing?
Well, I don't know if there's a real metric of being the best, but a good metric is being better than your former self.
Sure. I mean,
if you wish so.
These are all uplifting and helpful in developing as a painter. But again, I mean, with somebody who is even intermediate and has aspirations becoming competition level painting, what is the metric for being the best?
No fucking clue.
Exactly, because there isn't. Not that I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I can't really think of anything.
Right? Like if you're a heavyweight champion of the world in boxing, or UFC, whatever, there's a metric there. There's a metric at play.
Right, but even then, the next debate comes up. That's the best right now, but who's the best of all time, right? You got your Jordan LeBron debate, throw Kobe in the mix. Was it Tyson? Was it Ali? That is obviously there's no answer.
Right. So why are we hung up on this idea? Now, I say we as in a community, not as in we as in us sitting here right now.
There's always been. Everyone's going to look for recognition recognition and affirmation.
But that's any artist.
Absolutely.
But
I was reading a book in competition, and the old masters would have duels and that kind of thing, where a panel would come and say who the best was. The old composers would have, like, not street fights, but they'd each get 2 weeks to compose a piece, and they'd have to perform it. And whoever was voted the best would get the cushy gig as the court composer, that kind of shit.
now, see, that is a metric. So, for example, a painting competition, if it had a theme, contrast, high key, low key, color, saturation, darkness, light, whatever, right? If the competition had a theme, and whoever completed it the best to, say, 3 to 5, 7 judges, and you had your score dependent upon these criteria, that's a metric that can be applied. But most painting competitions, at least for miniature painting, there are no guidelines as far as what you're going to be judged on, other than some abstract, technique, color usage, you know what I mean? Very broad metrics of judging. Versus if the theme was, contrast, low saturation, right? Going for grim dark, even, right? If that was the category that everybody was making an entry for, then that's a metric that can be judged.
I don't even think it's that easy.
No, not really. But at least that way we're getting to the nuts and bolts of what makes a champion painter.
All I know is I sure do enjoy the chatter after every major competition, like when the Crystal Brush was running, about who really won, who got fucked over, and I love it. I live for that.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah, that sounds like some Jerry Springer type shit.
Oh yeah. Gets hot in the kitchen after those events, especially the Crystal Brush, because if you remember, the format was half judges, half online voting.
Yeah.
But at the competition, that's where they took your picture. You have it posted, so then you have people saying, "Oh, they put up a shit angle of my miniature, and I was robbed."
Yeah, but that's people being salty, and again, a lot of artists have egos.
Did one of the best in shows from Crystal Brush. The person who got to pick the overall winner picked someone who was an employee of his, and someone who was right near the top of the competition. Took pictures that you didn't see on the internet, showing really a ridiculous amount of mold lines that hadn't even been cleaned off, that won the $10,000 best in show grand prize. There was a few people upset about that. So yeah, that's the artistic integrity and all that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah.
Well, it goes away when you put the big old cat behind.
Yeah, I mean, I've entered art competitions before, and again, you get a certain level of cronyism in it. It's who you know, who's who the judges are familiar with, and shit like that. And that just ruins the integrity, right? Because you can't trust it, right? You can't trust those decisions.
Yeah.
the Moonstone range of miniatures in that game?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Just check it out. It's pretty cool.
Time to Google.
Post some links in the Discord. I'll check them out later.
I will. Bitch, I might.
Did you just call me bitch?
No. Oh, look at these guys.
Yeah.
I like them. Look at gnomes and fairies. They're very similar to the Carnivale dudes. Maybe that's because it's the same scale and they use the same bases. This would be really good for D&D.
There's a lot of cool stuff there, and they're very high quality casts.
Baron von Fancy Hat. That's good.
I've
I
got
like him already.
Bristlenose the Troll that I'm working on right now. Taking a break from my Gazgul.
Gazgul.
Gazgul. The game's kind of interesting. I haven't played it though, just seen the videos and such. It's kind of a bluffing game with a small deck of cards.
Oh, that's cool.
You fight over Moonstone, and you set your table up. I think it's played on a 2x2. And you take D4, and you hold them about a foot above. You grab a handful of 4 or 5. You hold them about 2 feet above the table, and you drop them in the middle. And wherever they land with whatever value they have, that's what that counter is.
Cool.
It's not a real serious. I don't anticipate if there was a tournament there'd be a lot of judging needed or shouting matches.
Right. Yeah, there's always going to be disputes, right?
I was a judge at a tournament in the grand tournament in Calgary back in like 2002, I think. And for the most part, it went pretty good. There was a few blow-ups. Some people were pretty ridiculous, but the worst, I had to basically stand by a table, and the worst, they were two brothers who had come from Saskatoon, so I knew them quite well, and they were both trying to cheat each other so badly. It was the final game of the tournament. They were competing for nothing. There was no prize online. There was absolutely nothing that they could be gained, but brothers scrapping, which respect, but they were, oh my god.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, that's right, because you used to be Outrider, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name. Outrider, and then Grey Knight.
Yeah. I remember we were talking about this one time, and yeah, you were a volunteer for the Outriders, right? Yeah, I remember that. Kim, yeah, it's some sport at least. I have already been to the dentist today. Don't need more pain, so no sports watching for me. To watch sport is like pulling teeth without anesthetic, in my opinion. Sure, I used to be that way. I used to be very, not sports, and grew up surrounded by hockey, and a lot of my family members play hockey, and they're all a bunch of goons, and yeah, I had no interest. And then my wife, she slowly got me more into football, like American football, and then of course as my son got older, we entered him into tyke football, and yeah, he just loved it, and he's Mr. Football now. Even my daughter, she played football. She did 1 year. If ever you're looking through, or if you're creeping my Facebook, you'll see way back in the day, my daughter, she and my son, I have pictures of both of them when they were both in the league, and in fact they were playing at the same time, not against each other, but yeah, they were in football at the same time, which was kind of hilarious. A little bit expensive too, but but it was fun, and she enjoyed it, and it's character building, right? I mean, at least she can say, yeah, I played sports, and yeah, I remember the first time she was out on the field, and another player came in and hit her. At the time, she was the only girl in the league, and yeah, she got hit, and everybody, even parents from the other team, were like, "Oh my God!" Like, and then she got right back up and got back into the huddle, and yeah, everybody's clapping and cheering her on, and that was really cool. But yeah, it was good times when they were small. Now they're adults. Now they're a pain in my ass.
My dad played for Peters for a couple of years.
Played with his Peter?
Stan Peters.
Oh. Played with his Peter. I was like, geez. It's a little personal.
If you're wondering if Canadian football players in the 70s made a lot of money, the answer is no.
No. They don't even make that much now.
No, they do not.
No. Yeah, my cousin, he played for the Steelers in the Sioux, which was like the minor to the CFL, and yeah, it's like next to no fucking money. He doesn't do it anymore. Sophie, I don't watch sport either. Never saw the appeal. No, yeah. Some people it's appealing. Some people it's not. To each their own. There's many things that I'm not into that many people are about, that are even quite popular, and it's like I don't understand the appeal, but whatever. I mean, leave people be. Sophie, when someone says I did a great paint job or I'm a good painter, I often wonder if they're just being nice, as I often think it could have been better, as we are our own worst critics. Yes, definitely. And yeah, I mean, again, the best, when people are offering an opinion on your work, positive or negative, it's best just to, not even dwell on it. Even the positive stuff. Just thank you for your opinion and, move on. Because even the positive stuff, it can inflate your ego. The negative stuff will deflate your ego, and that can affect whether or not you pick up a brush, right? So if you're getting a lot of negative comments about your painting, that can discourage you from painting, and that's no good. And so either you just paint and not share your work and you wall yourself off, or you just let that stuff, positive and negative, just slide off your back, and you just do what you like. It sounds very selfish, but it's probably the more healthier way, especially for creative types, to just let that shit just slide right off you. Don't dwell on it. Don't let it inflate or deflate you. Just do what makes you happy. If you want to be the best miniature painter in the world, whatever that is, then go for it. Do it. If you just want to paint because you enjoy the quiet time, you've got a hectic lifestyle, or you are bogged down with whatever mental issues are troubling you, or your mental health, what have you, and painting is the little bit of solace that you get, then by all means do it, right?
I wouldn't call it a selfish thing because the only person that this is really affecting is yourself.
Right. I mean, like, you know how, like, sometimes when we are concerned with our own safety and our own well-being, it can seem selfish, especially if we have family members who are pretty close to us, and sometimes they can feel like we're putting them to the side, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that can create conflict. Even though you don't mean to, you just, you know, you just want to just do a little bit of painting. You know, you just want some quiet time to, you know, to yourself. And so sometimes, you know, people around us, they can feel like we're ignoring them or we're shutting them out or any of these things, when really we're not. We just want a couple hours, peace, work on our stuff, you know, and then we'll come back and, you know, we'll go to the movies, we'll go to dinner, we'll go watch a movie, you know, whatever, right? Or sit there and just fucking stare at each other, whatever, right? So, yeah, it's a juggling act, but all of life is a juggling act. I mean, you know, we're juggling many things. Nothing in our lives are static, or I don't know what the word.
I think if Sophie wants to improve a little bit, I would pick one thing that you like when you see miniatures and there's one thing that pops up across all the miniatures that you like. You say, "Oh, I really like it when I see that." Then I would pick that one skill and try to do it. If you just really like smooth transitions, go on that. Just pick one little thing.
Yeah, that's how I got into glaze painting.
Yep.
Man, that's the best painting ever. Make sure you run your brush on your hand so you know how much paint is in the brush.
All right. On that note, I'm getting a fucking coffee. Scott's trying to trigger me, and he's almost there. I'm not gonna let him, so I'm gonna get a coffee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of putting paint on your hand or nail or whatever. It goes on your fucking model.
You gotta do it. You gotta put it on your hand so you know exactly that load.
Yeah, palette will do for me.
Oh, just try it once, you'll be hooked. Say, man, this is the best.
Fucking Palpatine over here, do it.
Yep. These Warlord plastics are kind of shitty.
Warlord plastics. Oh, are they kind of like that injected resin?
I think it's polystyrene. It's just the detail's not great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, does it remind you of like early Games Workshop shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few of those. The ones I don't care for is the injected resin. These figures here, you often get like these game token ones.
No, I can't. I'm not on the stream.
Oh, anyway, yeah, they're more like an injected resin. I don't really care for them. They're soft, and you know, same with like Reaper Bones. I'm not a big fan of those either.
No, I've painted too many of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you're gaming with them and everything like that they're fine because they're a nice low cost option. But if you want to get into the weeds about, you know, painting the details and, you know, spending some time on it, I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of those guys. I mean, they look cool, but yeah.
Yeah.
They're a bit too bendy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm too much of a snob.
Well, I mean,
there's so many good sculpts for those games, like especially like Cool Mini or Not, a lot of their games. I would love if they came out with like Painter's Edition miniatures for them.
Yeah. I mean, they.
I was thinking specifically about the Reaper minis.
Oh, yeah.
Reaper minis, I put them in the same boat. I've bought a couple because they happen to fit what I needed for a game.
Yeah, it's not like they don't have any appeal.
They do not get a long. They don't get my best work. That's for sure.
Kim, what are you doing for the bases for your Eldar? I'm probably going to just go with what I typically go with, which is Grillian Earth on the base and Goblin Green or Steel Legion Drab for the rim. The bases, especially if they're gaming, I'll just use a GW Technical and just put the texture down. You know, like Necromunda, they got great textured bases. I just paint the texture, right? You get like some of these Warcry minis and they got great textured bases and you just paint it up. But for 40k, like for these Shroud Runners, yeah, they have these, you know, these big typical clear stand bases. Usually I don't bother doing anything to these because most of the time, like, I game with them anyway, so I don't really, you know, concern myself with them. But I have seen some people using the oval biker bases and then with the clear stand, and I kind of like how that looks, and so I might actually do something like that if I want to do up a base for them. But normally I don't really fret the bases. I don't, you know, I don't really, especially if it's gaming. If it's for display, then yeah, I'll fuss over what colors the base is going to be. And typically, I usually go for either something more neutral for the base or complementary. One of the two. It all depends what kind of mood I'm in. Yeah, I mostly comment back, thanks, or that's nice of you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for like taking criticism and stuff. Yeah. Just thank them for the comment. Yeah, thank you. And if they are, if somebody is being negative towards you, or they're, you know, they're trying to, you know, project their own insecurities on you, just say thank you. Thank you. That's it. That usually deflates that whole situation right there. Because if you respond in kind, so if they are, you know, being negative and what have you, and then you say something negative back to them, then you just spur this whole argument. And
now we're talking. Now you got it. That's my jam.
What's that?
Now you're talking.
What? Being
you
negative?
Say something negative. They say something negative. Now we go. Now we go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a fight and you enjoy fighting, sure, go right ahead. Do you? Personally, I mean, I don't care.
Better things to do than fight with random people on the internet. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I do. I've got way too much shit to do that I don't have time to fucking get into the weeds with people about fucking the finer points of miniature painting. I don't fucking care.
I had a local guy, and it just kills me when you have the internet. Come on, like, you gotta know what's up. So guy said, "Hey, I just finished painting these guys," and his quote was, "I finally perfected painting eyes," and he hasn't. A lot of big white cheek with a blob of black in there, and I deleted my comment. I was so happy for myself. I posted a picture of Marty Feldman, and I enjoyed that. But then I realized, come on, I'll just let the guy live in his lane.
Yeah.
How can you do that? How can you post and say, "Hey, I perfected"? Like, you can go and see somebody's master with their phone. Those guys wouldn't tell you they've mastered eyes. They'd say, "I'm really proud of what I do." And I don't think a single one of them will use the term, "I have mastered."
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used that term.
No, of course not. It's fucking insane.
But again, I mean, that's kind of part of the issue, right? Is is so many painters have an ego. They have this big head about these things. And, you know, because so many people so often tell them how awesome they are. And it goes to the head. And, you know, that doesn't do you any good, especially as a creative. Because, in fact, the idea that you have peaked will hinder your creativity because you think you're doing it, right? You think you've mastered it. And maybe you have. But how does that help you moving forward? How does that, you know, make you go beyond what it is? And also, too, I mean, again, it's, you know, we've talked about this many times, the idea of perfection and all these things we attribute to paintings. And a lot of times, a lot of painters, they do not have, like a lot of miniature painters, they don't have art backgrounds. They've never studied art. Like art, paintings and sculpture and, you know, stuff like that. How to view these things. So, you know.
I have been told that, because I mean, I can't write my name so you can read it. And I had a dude tell me I wasn't qualified to comment on his work.
Told you weren't qualified?
I was not qualified to comment on his work because it was very apparent I didn't have an art background. I couldn't appreciate what he was doing, and that he was using colors from the new color wheel, and he gave me quite a long expert.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, it's a fucking space marine. Like, I don't know what part of your university class when they're going in. This is how Rembrandt, you know, like to paint the Aquila on the chest guards, and this is, you know, notice here how Michelangelo drilled out the barrel holes and took care of all the mold lines. Jesus.
I want to see that.
What's that?
I want to see that.
Yeah. Wouldn't.
Yeah, that's funny. No, again, it's all ego. It's all ego. And personally, I don't have time to play with people's egos. If I wanted to be really venomous, I could easily, but I don't. Because I don't feel like dealing with it.
I love it.
Yeah. There's a few content creators I see out there, and yeah, they seem to cultivate this atmosphere of venom, and it's unsustainable to be that toxic all the time.
I think it comes to the gaming side of things much more than any of the painting. You know, all the real stuff seems to come out of. I've seen way more people get upset about the inaccuracies of, you know, the way 40K things are painted. Like, well, the second company had this color. I've seen more of that than I have in historicals, where they say, "Hey, nice paint job. Just FYI, the historical pattern was this, but it looks good." You know, like they'll say, "Ooh, looks good as is."
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that has more to do with the rise of autism, but yeah.
The rise. What I usually see is, is that a custom chapter?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it can't be wrong.
My son is diagnosed. He's got autism spectrum disorder. But 20 years ago, he just would have been the weird kid.
Right.
You know, would have been it, full stop.
But see, like, a lot of these things where people are just kind of like not reading social cues, I think that's why. Right?
I think it's always been around. If you go back to the name we slap on it now.
Sure.
Yeah, go back to growing up, the kids in your class, and, you know.
But that also is that, you know, more work has to be done in the mental health field. Right? Because otherwise people can walk around, you know, not knowing what they're doing. just helps them become more productive members of society if we identify these things earlier on, because people learn at different rates.
Well, above all, it helps them feel more secure.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, over here, my kids in their school, you know, my son's gonna graduate grade 12 in the spring. Everyone is so tolerant. There's just no one gets there's none of what would have been called bullying. None of that happens. You know, until they get home. My son decided just out of the blue one day he bought himself a cowboy hat. I was like, all right, well, I don't know what that's about, but it's your money. You fucking do whatever you want with it. And then he said, yeah, I'm gonna wear this cowboy hat to school. All right, Tex. And I just think about back in my day, just all of a sudden out of the blue, you decided you're a cowboy hat guy. You were gonna hear about it, and it was gonna get loud. So, end of the day, I said, "How was school? People like your hat?" "Oh yeah, everyone loved it. You know, everyone's hoping I wear it tomorrow, but I didn't really like it, so I'm not gonna wear it."
Yeah. Again, though, like it's good that, you know, people can venture, and when they're young like that, like, it's important for kids to explore their own identity, especially when, you know, you have parents who, you know, have achieved quite a bit in their lives, and, you know, it casts a pretty big shadow on what they do and how they perceive themselves, and it's important for them to have a space amongst their peers to safely venture, you know.
It's wonderful that kids can explore who they are and who they want to be, and be comfortable themselves. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of weird behavior that would have been checked back in the day, but there's so little confrontation that it just doesn't happen.
No. Well, a balance, I think, is necessary, because, yeah, there's some instances where it seems like, you know, back in my day, we didn't have this goofy kind of crap, and, you know.
I think if you've been punched in the face at least once in your life, it makes you a better person.
Well, it definitely helps with the humility and checking yourself, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just knowing at the table, hey, if I'm going to talk to this guy, I'm saying something, I'm expecting a reaction. Let's make sure my words don't match that kind of reaction.
Yeah. But it's the age we live in, man.
We're going out for beers with my buddies tonight. It's list night. This is how much we love arguing. We get a topic, and then you come up with a list of either top 5 or top 10, and we all go through it and decide. We go up to number 1. We argue, we discuss, and we try to determine who the winner is. Tonight it's bit parts, bit characters from movies. I got an ace. I got an ace up my sleeve.
Bit parts from a movie. So, like, what is the criteria for the bit part? Like,
it's got to be someone, like, it can be an actor we know now, but we couldn't have at the time. So or just a bit part. Like, if you want to pick the You Can Do It guy, you know, Rob Schneider. Okay, that was funny. Shit like that. I mean, I'd laugh in a guy's face if he did pick that. That kind of shit.
Gotcha.
Mine is the coach, the basketball coach from Teen Wolf. He's my number 1 pick. And I don't know if you remember that movie.
It's been forever.
Oh my God! So the coach, just through the movie, the first thing that the best part of the movie is when Michael J. Fox says, "Hey, coach, can I talk to you for a second?" All right, I'm kind of busy, but go for it. And he I'm going through changes and problems. He's like, okay, listen, I got 3 rules to live by. 3 rules to live by. Never play cards with a man named after a city. Never sleep with a woman who has a tattoo of a dagger anywhere on her body. And never get less than 12 hours sleep. Stick to that, you'll be fine.
That's some advice.
Is when he changes into Teen Wolf in the middle of a basketball game, everyone's kind of freaks out in his practice. He won't react at all. He doesn't. He's just like, all right, werewolf's on the court. Michael J. Fox dribbles down the court and does the big dunk because he's a werewolf.
Spoiler.
And it's quiet. It's quiet in the entire high school gym, except for the coach who starts clapping and goes, all right, let's play some ball.
Kim, I've been seeing the Rembrandt Museum and the Reich Museum, where the Van Goghs are, several times. I've never seen a 40K themed painting there, so they who claim this as fine art can take a trip and look for themselves. I'm not sure I follow Kim, but I'm going to assume...
I think he was commenting back when the guy said I wasn't qualified to comment on his miniature.
Oh, yeah, no.
What he meant was I wasn't qualified to comment with any criticism. I was more than qualified to say you did a great job, pal.
Right.
Gold star.
Yeah. No, that's funny though. I mean, again, that just reeks of ego. Somebody saying that, Nobody's qualified. I mean, like, anybody can be a movie critic. Anybody can be an art critic. Anybody can be a miniature painting critic, judge, whatever. Anybody. Because, again, it's largely subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Kim, sometimes I can drill out the barrels, but mostly I don't bother since it's not like the weapon will shoot anymore. If I do, it's a tiny plastic model, and whatever I do, the weapon will not shoot. Like if you don't drill out the barrel, it's the guns that can't shoot? Right. Yeah, but that makes...
drill out the barrel, you get +1 on your weapon skill.
Oh! Hey! You know how, like, remember like when Age of Sigmar first came out and they had those silly rules?
With the fucking, if you yell like
yeah, shit like that. Yeah, what if they incorporated that into 40K? You get a +1 to shoot if your gun barrels have been drilled out. I'm sure plenty of people out there are going to ruin bolters and their guns, especially people who are not experienced at it. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to end up with a lot of fucked up guns. But that would be funny. I'm not 100% sure I support the idea, but that would be funny. Especially if a bunch of people were, fucking up their guns. I mean, like, I don't know.
I'd like something to the lines of, if you have an autoimmune disease, your Nurglings get 16 wounds.
Oh, there we go. That's a special rule.
Yeah.
I was going to say something there, but I don't think I should.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because if you have AIDS, you shouldn't play any Nurgle Force.
Well, you should.
Yeah, see? I shouldn't have said it. Because it's not funny.
No, I was trying to add, but my brain just fucking melted. It's the male part of the brain that goes, oh, be funny, be funny.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's the one-upping. The one-upman.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know.
So usually I strive to never one-up, but just add.
Just add? Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that just one...
Add to the fun for everyone.
But isn't that what one-upping is? Because it's if it's a 9 and you one-up it, it's 10, right?
I make sure I never one-up people. Probably a little better than you guys at it.
That's pretty clever.
Oh yeah, well, your mom.
Yeah, that's why I always degrade everything to a mom joke. Your mom. Oh, fuck.
That was the kind of one-upping I was thinking of.
Yeah, exactly. Good job, Scott. You one-upped us.
Yeah. Get a cookie.
You get a cookie, yeah. You get a cookie. A cookie of my love. Scott, you earned yourself a love cookie.
Fuck no, I want one.
You want a love cookie? I'll give you a love cookie. I'll warm it up in the mic for you. Oh, what's that? We got Matt E rating party of 45. How come my little alert didn't pop up? Son of a bitch. Demon Monkey Bot's failing me again. Oh no, he's telling me. Matt E rated with a party of 45 viewers. Well, thank you, Matt. Yeah, I check out Matt every once in a while. I check him. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see now the fall. Oh, now Demon Monkey Bot wants to tell me what's going on here. Thank you.
Well, I'm out, boys. Off to get drunk. Have a good weekend.
Later, duder. Thanks for stopping by, Scott.
Later.
Walter's Workshop. There's another one I follow too. Walter's Workshop. I follow Walter on all sorts of stuff. The Instagrams, even the TikTok. I follow Walter. Crypt Shadow for the follow. Thank you. Do we all get love cookies? If you want a love cookie, sure. Again, I'll warm it up for you. Matt E. Nice stash. Thank you. Ready Retio Santil? Fuck, that's a name I can't even say. Ready Retio. Fuck, that's hurting. That's hurting to say. But thank you for the follow. Walter, rocking that Eldar. I'm jealous. I need to get me some. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of Eldar. I've got these Shroud Runners on the go. I was just working on these today, doing the really fun Eldar camo. Just farting around with that. We're gonna do them in Samhan. These guys are probably gonna get painted up, kind of like how they are in the box art. And then the last couple streams, I was working on my Aeronautica Imperialis Wrath of Angles box set, and so the color, the camera kind of blows out the color right now, but yeah, they're nice bright red. I also worked on the little Phoenix bombers. I was painting them up like my tabletop 40K versions. Yeah, that's what we do on getting projects done. We try and get our projects done. We try anyway.
Or we just end up talking about dicks.
Or we talk about dicks the entire time, right? Just, flopping them around, or, putting them in places they shouldn't be, or,
Yeah, I need a new toaster.
Exactly, exactly. Walter, no, Matt, what are we working on? I was working on the Shroud Runner bikes. Just getting the camo happening on these things. And then next we'll be shading the little chevrons on the hood, and then we'll put on the Samhan chevrons, and then continue on. Then I got to get the bikes, the riders assembled. They're not all assembled yet. Get them painted. I still have the Rangers to get finished. I also think I'll work on my Autarch soon enough. I did him like the Codex cover art. Basically, it was just, the Autarch with wings, put the missile launcher and the grave on, or the staff on, and yeah, that's all. Oh, and then attached him to a flying stand as well, just for gigs. Yes, I know he's not table ready, but whatever. Matty, is the whole palette, or the whole table a palette? Is the whole table? No, it's about this is tempered glass that I use as my palette. It's just easier to clean. It also, like when I'm filming tutorials and stuff, it's easier to clean, and provides an even backdrop and what have you. And it's just a piece of glass, and it's a Bristol board, colored Bristol board in behind, and that's it. The coloring, the blue, could be anything. Could be gray, could be green, could be. We could even have some fun. We could do like a bright green, like chroma key, And that way we can have whatever in the background, right? That'd be a trip, actually. Maybe we should do that sometime. We'll chroma key out the background. And then we'll just have like the painted miniatures floating in the distance. And maybe we'll have stars moving or something like that in the background. Just to right fuck people up and just, you know, have all sorts of trippy shit going on. Kim, I'm doing the bases for the Elder stuff from the Eldritch Omens box now. After that, they are done. Yeah, it's a good thing. It feels good to get those projects done. I have no idea what you're going to do the bases in. Like I said before, I just usually use like simple Games Workshop technicals to just kind of slap a texture on or what have you. And if they're for tabletop, if they're for display, then yeah, I'll do sand or cork and rock and slate and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, these I'm just doing for tabletop. My Aeronautica stuff, I'm just doing for, you know, tabletop. I usually don't do any work really for high display. This project here that we probably should get back to is the Angry Pig Gator from the Cruel Boys from Age of Sigmar. We probably should return to this project, get this guy done, because we still have the rider to get finished. This one we've been spending a lot of time painting up. Still not done. We'll return to this guy soon enough. But yeah, this one's been a lot of fun though. Been spending way too much time painting it. But it's been fun, and I enjoy the sculpt, and it's really nice. Tons of projects to do. Tons. Walter, anything is a palette if you're brave enough. Yes, definitely. Yeah, so anyway, as this palette, it's just a piece of glass. It's a tempered glass. It's about 18 inches by 20 inches. And it's about, I think about a 1/4 inch thick. Have a buddy, he does glass, like he does glass installation and such. So he has these scraps sitting around, and so I bug him to hook me up, and he's kind enough to, you know, hand me a piece. But yeah, this piece is actually pretty heavy too. It's a solid piece of glass, but it's just easy to clean. That's it. That's the only reason I use glass, is because it film cleans up easy. It's reusable, you know. Yeah. At the beginning of this stream today, I actually demonstrated how I go about cleaning it, which is, you know, pretty straightforward. It's Windex and a razor blade, essentially. Matt E. Got to clean up. Be lurking here. Yeah, no problem. Well, I'm probably ending the stream shortly. Usually people, when they raid, it's sometimes usually at the end of my stream as well. On my channel here on Twitch, I have my schedule of what I usually stream at. So for anybody who wants to tune in while I'm working on stuff, feel free. I stream Wednesdays to Fridays, doing this segment, getting projects done, where I just work on my own crap. And then Saturdays I do Way of the Brush, which is more of a question and answer type of program. It's usually just a lot of goofing off and stuff like that. And then of course these getting projects done, I also have my Discord open, and patron supporters can join me and we can talk. Like Barfing Sheep here is a pretty regular viewer, and we have conversations and we talk about, you know, this and that. Bill,
basically furniture at this point.
What's that?
I'm basically furniture at this point.
Yeah, you're basically furniture at this point. Oh shit, I forgot to turn the sound over too. Damn it. So probably your voice has been probably fairly quiet today. I forgot to turn the switch on so that
Oops.
Yeah, the computer audio. There's always something I forget to do, damn it. Balefire Forge. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Can't believe I didn't follow you already. I can't believe it either, Bale. Like, what's up, dude?
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Like, what the actual fuck? Kim, yeah, I paint to game with the models, so I only do them in nice tabletop. Yeah, exactly. I mean, most of the time, I only do tabletop. I don't go for competition type painting and, you know, shit like that. Like, I'm usually not that fired up for it. Oh, yeah, well, here's another project that we haven't finished yet. Is the Saboteur Reductus Saboteur or Saboteur Reductus? Can't remember that. Yeah, the Gene Stealer Saboteur Duder. We were spending a lot of time painting this one here as well, and I never finished it yet. So, yeah. So, anyway. Oh, of course, in Relic Blade, we're working on the little elf mage for that. I was working on that. Got all sorts of stuff on my desk. Like my desk is covered in projects. And then on the camera here, you probably can't see it too well, but a whole bunch of plastic kits. I've got I've got Warlocks to paint up. I got Mogan Ra to paint up. I've got of my Eldar to get done. Holy shit! Yeah, I got Eldar to get done. I've got Banshees to do. I've got Dark Reapers to do. I've got 2 boxes of Guardians to do. So I've got shit to do. I have no shortage of projects to get done. Oh.
And that's stuff you're allowed to show.
And that's the shit I'm allowed to show. And yeah, that's because there's another project that I'm super fired up to get to, and I have not even opened the box yet because I haven't filmed it. Balefire. We are all shocked. Yeah, I know. Balefire. Sophie. Looming forward to seeing the Pig Gator finished. Yes, Banshee's next. Banshee's next? I should work on my Banshees next? Probably. Should I do the Banshees like the book, or should I do them like I did my Jane Czar? That's the question, Sophie. That's the question. Balefire, what's in the box? What's in the box? I don't know. Kim, going to build that Gene Stealer cult model from Shadow Throne now that I'm done with the new Eldar, just before I start painting the Chaos stuff from the Eldritch Omens. Yeah, I haven't even touched the Chaos stuff from Eldritch Omens. Haven't even touched it. Haven't even. So many projects to get through. So little time. And honestly, like, if all I did was stream, I probably could get through my projects a little faster, but unfortunately I don't only just stream, so mind you, I mean, I haven't made too many tutorials as of late, but yeah. Balefire, you should do them how you like them best, of course. Yeah, I mean, like the Banshees, I don't know, I'm probably just gonna paint them probably like the box art. You know, because I'm most likely going to be painting them to play with them, and yeah, I'll probably just do a pretty straightforward paint job on them. I might paint them how I've painted my Banshees in the past. Oftentimes, especially with new models, I like to do old paint jobs on. So, for example, there's a certain big demon monster for the Eldar that will be coming out in the future, and I'm very likely going to paint it how it's painted in the original artwork, like the original heavy metal sections on how it was painted by Mike McVeigh. Yeah, I'm probably going to paint it like that. Or I might paint it like my new one. Again, I'm kind of flaky and I'm indecisive. I'm flaky. I'm a flaky individual. Kim, you're using the Banshees with Jane Czar? Oh, yeah. The Jane Czar I painted, yeah, she's tabletop. I mean, like, I spent a bit of time on her, but she's still just tabletop. It's not like I would enter that in a competition or anything. I don't think I would, anyway. If so, it would look cool if they had the same-ish scheme. Yeah, I know. Well, the scheme that I did for Jane Czar, that was more inspired by a particular artist's work that he had done on the Ghost Army for Age of Sigmar. What the hell are those guys called? What are they called? Do you know?
Not the Night Haunts? No.
Night Haunts? Yeah, Night Haunts. Yeah.
Spooky Boys?
Spooky Boys. Anyway, yeah, there was an artist who had painted them, and I was really intrigued by his use of color for painting those ghosts, and I applied that to Jane Czar. And I was mostly pleased with how it came out. It was inspired by, it wasn't a direct, translation of what he had done to his models, but yeah. Night Haunt? Yeah, Night Haunt. Night Haunt? Ghost Haunt? Gloom? Ghosts?
Spooky bastards.
Yeah, the spooky guys. You know which guys I'm talking about. But yeah. What time we at? Holy camolies, it's 10 minutes OT. I have other work to do that I'm not going to show you guys, so I am going to stop this stream. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Matt Yee for the raid and stopping by, and then Walter's workshop. Both Matt Yee and Walter, if you guys are not following them, give them a follow, because I do tune into them every once in a while whenever I get the chance to kind of have something going in my background as well. I do actually tune into the streams that I do follow sometimes. Of course, if I think I'm on, if we're friends on Twitch, I think you'll see like when I'm on and who I'm watching. So feel free to, follow and, what have yous. But yeah, Walters, thank you, sir. Glad I caught you. Yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah, because I know, like, Walter, I know you stream, like, later in the day, like, in the evenings, and whenever you're streaming, I try and tune in if I'm, at my computer. And Matt E, I do tune in every once in a while whenever I am free to, have something going in the background. But usually, like, whenever I'm usually just working on my own stuff, I usually have music playing in the background. I usually don't have too much, like, streamings going on or stuff like that. I find it's just a little too distracting sometimes. But if I'm just kind of like putzing around, doing assembly and stuff like that, like just kind of, stuff I don't really have to think about, then yeah, I usually have a stream going and, catch what people are talking about. And of course, I usually only like to follow people who, entertain me, I suppose. Anybody who's, talking about, relevant things and, having more adult kind of conversations about things. I'm not crazy about content creators who, gear their content towards younger or G ratings. I don't go in for that, especially given the setting of wargaming, right? Wargaming is an abstraction of something violent, and it's an adult kind of universe already, and I don't understand why people want to have kids involved with this, watering down of violence. And yeah, I realize that, yeah, it's a game, it's toys and, stuff like that, but what it's based on is violent in nature. Kim, and remember, it is no time. There's no play for Mr. Gray, so paint your fucking models. And for fuck's sakes, if you're not a patron of Chris yet, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Become a patron and become part of the community. Well, there you go. That's a ring endorsement right there from Kim. As always. Sophie says, have fun, everyone. Keep hobbying, and night, Sophie. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. And yeah. Sheep, you got any final words?
Yeah, I got a throwback.
Okay.
Shave your nuts.
Shave your nuts. That's sound advice right there. Shave your nuts, because you got to take care of the fun bag, right? So, no, fun bags are something else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to take care of those as well.
You got to take care of those.
Shave your fun bags.
Shave your fun bag. I'm sure there's a few girls out there with the fun bags that have extra amounts of hair on them, and it's not a criticism of you, but you might want to trim it down a bit. I mean,
or just do whatever the fuck you like.
I mean, I get, like, if you're into Planet of the Apes, that's fine too. Oh, jeez.
There is hope.
Oh shit, no. Now the monkey bot's telling me. Thank you for the follow, Pink Lunar Inferno. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Pink Lunar Inferno. Thank you for the follow. So yeah, if you enjoy Planet of the Apes, feel free to just grab hold of some fuzzy fun bags, because actually when you say it like that, it sounds actually kind of fun, right? Fuzzy fun bags. What's the other name? The euphemism for scrotum? Sack? No, that's boring. Coin purse? Is that the one?
Stress ball?
Stress ball? Jeez Louise, I don't... Good God. I mean, who's sitting there fondling their squeeze bag like a stress ball? I mean...
Squeeze bag.
Squeeze bag? Come on. There's
The row pouch.
the what?
The row pouch.
The row pouch.
It's where you keep your row.
Okay.
Fish row. Yeah.
You lost me on that one, man. You lost me.
Is that just a Scandinavian term?
It's gotta be. That's gotta be a
Kim knows what I'm
Scandinavian.
talking about.
Yeah, Kim, you and Kim, sure, you guys can play with your row pouches all day long. Row fish eggs. Yeah, it's fish eggs. Yeah. Row. Yeah. Row. Right. Caviar. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have some caviar.
Squeeze your caviar. Oh, I don't think we can go any lower than this. Can we?
We've been lower.
Many a times we've been lower than this. Yeah. Alrighty, let's get the hell out of here. Before I say something really stupid that I can't take back, and of course the internet will never forget. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Weigh the brush tomorrow? Yeah, weigh the brush tomorrow. Yes. I think. Short of, I was going to say short of World War III, but I think we're already in the midst of that. But yeah, I'll do away the brush tomorrow, maybe, possibly, sort of. You know, let's get out of red alert. Let's go to condition. Let's go to condition yellow. That's not yellow. That doesn't look like yellow. That looks like crap. Let's go condition green. That's not green. That's green. Oh, you can't even barely see that. Let's go magenta. Let's go condition magenta. There we go. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Enough goofing around.